Hello, folks, and welcome back to High Fever, your Indiana Fever basketball podcast. I'm your host, Josh Barcenas. 87-72, the Indiana Fever take down the Minnesota Lynx in the season finale. The Indiana Fever for the 2023 season, they are 13-27. Minnesota falls to the 6th seed in the playoffs. That's not irrelevant, but there was a three-way tie for 5th going into the game, so it was pretty interesting. So we'll talk about the game real quick. Let's just kind of talk about the wrap-up to the season. The 2 seasons prior to this 2023 season, the Fever did not have more combined wins than they did this season. In the last 2 seasons before this, they had 11 wins combined. This season, they had 13. Look, if that's not something to hang your hat on, then I don't know what is. I wouldn't call this a totally perfect success, but damn, is it not something that is pretty positive. There's a lot of free agents. We will have the best chance at the first pick again, despite what I believe was a pretty good campaign to welcome Aaliyah Boston in. There was, I honestly, really only one injury scare. We'll see what she does in the offseason as far as her off-season ball goes. But look, this was what I think the plan was. 13 wins is pretty good. In the way that, okay, if we're not going to make the playoffs, then at least give us a chance to win a couple of these games. Because look, honestly, it does get a little bit depressing. And I've never played professionally, but I have to imagine that just constantly losing is probably weighing pretty hard on these players. I watched the post game, some of the post game content with Aaliyah specifically, and they were cheery. She had a good attitude, and so winning a couple of these games, winning 13 games is probably not the worst thing in the world, especially because we still are probably going to have the best draft odds at the draft. So that is really good. And guys, this draft is, if players choose to come out, this draft is going to be really, really loaded. Maybe not some home run picks, but some picks that we can surround Aaliyah Boston and start building out this roster. Because, only up from here, I think this team has a real opportunity to make the playoffs next season. There's a lot of free agents. I looked at a pretty short list of some of the top free agents coming into next season. There are players who need to get paid. And look, if Lynn Dunn and Chrissy Sides, if the organization is for real about this, getting this ship righted, we got to pay some shooters. Okay? We just have to pay some shooters. And I'm not saying we got to get the whole thing and start around Aaliyah Boston, but our shooting can't be this poor. We need some spot up shooters. Okay, let's talk about the game real quick. Caleb McBride goes off for 24 points, and Kelsey Mitchell matches her with 24. Look, do I think this was the best Lynx performance? No, I really don't. But at the same time, I am not going to say that the Lynx were totally giving up. They had something to play for, and they showed it. And I think it's important to not dismiss this win. Of course. Look, it means nothing in the grand scheme for the Indiana Fever, but the fact that these players want to come out and they want to play and they want to compete, that means something. And I think, like I said, if you watched the pressers and some of the interviews that the players were giving, I think it does mean something. It means a lot. And so winning at home, Gamebridge has not seen too many Fever wins this season, unfortunately. So to win at home, look, this was good. This was good. It got dicey early in the fourth. The Lynx kind of looked like they were about to take over, but the Fever hold on. Aaliyah Boston got going in the fourth. That 2-point pull-up jumper is looking real good. I know I've been talking about it these last couple games. It seems like she's kind of opening up her bag here at the end of the. She was kind of opening up her bag here at the end of the season, and man, that looks really, really good. I think if we can get, she's going to work on that, obviously. But man, adding that to her arsenal is just going to make her deadly. She kind of, I think, can model her game a little bit. She can go the AD route where, yeah, they're obviously going to have her at the 5. But man, if she can start pulling up a little bit and work on her quickness a little bit, I don't see why not having her as a 4 wouldn't be bad. Again, earlier this season when we traded for Amanda Zowie B, they were running the Amanda Boston combo. Now, I know why they went away from it because, I would be very surprised if Amanda Zowie B makes this roster next season. But I think if we can get a serviceable, a more adept to this type of play style center, true center, I think that there can be some Aaliyah Boston at the 4 potential. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, but potential. Look, I just like what I saw from her. There was no quit in this team, which is something that I am not sure that I can say that I expected, especially with it being the last game of the season. But hey, they fought to the end. That was really good to see. And look, honestly, I'm pretty positive. I'm high on the Fever. I think they're doing good things. We will see what the offseason holds. And speaking of the offseason, first off, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. When I started this, I didn't really know what my plan was. I didn't really know what I was going to do. But this has been really fun to just come on here after every game and talk with, the audience. And you guys have really made it fun. I will not be going anywhere. So my plan is I'll be covering the off-season draft. We're going to talk about draft content. We're going to talk some stuff around the W, basically any breaking news. We're going to be looking at player awards, Rookie of the Year awards when that drops. So it's going to be a busy off-season. I will not be going anywhere. Please subscribe and hang around because, look, this team has a lot of good things going for it. This team is a fun team, and I think that there is finally some cohesion in the front office, and I think it's going to be a really, really good time. The Aaliyah Boston-led Indiana Fever are going to be a team that is known. I can guarantee you on that. Again, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I will be back soon